The more you try to keep me down and keep my head above the water, you can never hold me down. The more you try to block me out, that's where I kick the wall down. You can never hold me back. The more you try to put me out, the more I'll be blazing, it's too hot. The more you try to put me in the dirt, increase my work, the expert. You see the hunger in the eyes of a survivor. Swallowed my pride, washed down with some saliva. Reinvented my whole life.
Hey, everybody, it's Casey with Pinecase. Tonight I'm hanging out with YahPasion, which is super exciting because it's not very often I get to kind of like pirate some people up from down in the States. So when I do get the chance to, I really, appreciate the time that you take to come and hang out with us up in Canada and all that beautiful stuff. So thank you so much for joining me tonight.
No problem. How you doing?
I'm well. I appreciate your patience with me, man. My goodness, like life's and it always life's all at the same time,
Yeah.
Wow. So tell me a story a little bit about yourself, because when I started kind of going down the rabbit hole that everything was YahPasion, it's beautiful and emotional and relatable. But I found myself with this one song, and I couldn't kind of get past it because there was a piece of it that was really intimate, and you were letting us in on obviously a harsh part of your life, something that broke your heart.
Yeah.
But the way that you put the music out there, it felt that if you were going through that as well, it wasn't this kind of like soul pulling down song. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I don't want to say it was like uplifting and I left being like, everything's good. I don't mean it like that. I just mean that it brought a little bit of sunshine in a space where I can relate to the situation that happened. And so I'm really curious to know how you get to a place like that where you have lyrics and content that are heavy, but you choose music that's inviting and encouraging.
Well, when my son passed, I decided to have, instead of a funeral, I had a celebration. So we celebrated him. So that's how I got past it. After we did that, I couldn't write nothing else but what I wrote on that song. I wanted to get as detailed as I could as possible, but yeah. I performed that song one time. I don't even know if I could do it again. That shit fucked me up. But I'm good now, though. I accepted it.
Do you plug yourself into your music when, as like a tool to kind of navigate that stuff? Because it shows, right? I mean, there's a lot of integrity in a lot of your music.
Thank you. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Like, I'm a introspective rapper. That's a category, I guess. Mm-hmm. I put my emotions out there, or no matter what it is, even if it's a quote unquote violent song, which I don't make many of, but I'm more positive as an MC, so I try to keep it there. I don't understand too much negativity. It's kind of stupid. It's like you don't have shit going for you, nothing good happening in your life ever. You mad at everybody and all you do is sell drugs. All right. Yeah, I can't deal with that.
No, I can't either. And it's challenging in a world like today because there is so much great things happening, but unfortunately that's not always the stuff that's kind of delivered. And
yeah.
I'm a godmom and an auntie and a mom and all of those beautiful things. And I find it hard sometimes to be like, listen, like there is, especially men, like there is men out there making great music. There is men out there that have gone through the things that you have gone through and are still out there, like living their lives and being a productive member of society and a positive icon for everybody and themselves. And it's like, unfortunately, we kind of have to weed through all of the mainstream music to kind of get to that. But
yeah, that's stressful too.
Right.
For a minute, I was thinking like, there's no lane for me to fit in. So I had to sit back and figure out what I wanted to really say in my music. Had to switch up the tempo a little bit, slightly, so I can get the other people. But my music eventually is gonna elevate to something that's gonna uplift our people to another height. That's the goal ultimately.
I know it's a numbers game, but when I say integrity, like, you can feel it. You don't have to be male or female. You don't have to be black or white. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like you can see the passion. Well, I mean, all right, well, let's talk about it. Like, is that where your name came from? Like, what is the story behind that? Because is
No.
there a relation? Like,
Well, now it is
right.
because I made it that, but no, remember when you had the flip phones, like the razors or whatever?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I had an older name that I won't say, but
Okay.
when it started with a D,
Mm.
and my friend put it in there because this is when I don't know what to call it, AI, or when the phone talked back to you for the names or whatever, and he typed that name in, and
Oh,
the phone said something. It said your passion. I was like, what the fuck is that? And he said that's the name you use it from now on. But
oh
then
my.
then I got deeper into like my roots or whatever, like Hebrew Israelite stuff and all that. So when I got deep into that, and you see God's name is Yahweh or Yahuwah, and then you see the angels, all their names mean something of God. So I wanted to be passion of God.
See, and even there, you're like, educating people. Like,
Yeah.
it's amazing to title yourself that, but I mean, you do it with the idea that people are going to come across it and be like, this represents that person, but it's also an opportunity to teach. Like, hmm.
Yeah. I don't like talking if I don't have nothing to say, really. Like like I have to say something to you that's gonna speak life into you at some point. Otherwise, there's no reason for us to even communicate. So I want to do that in my music because I don't like somebody just talking me to talk. So I don't want to hear somebody just rap to rap. Like you have to say something. Like you said, I got integrity when I rap. I'm never gonna disrespect our people ever, especially middle or lower class, because that's the real war, not the race war. So when we get there, I want to lead that. I want to be the leader of that army.
That's where they need that's where they need you the most. That's where they need you the absolute most. I've talked about it a million times on this. I mean, it's why the project started. We've had a lot of beautiful DJs, MCs, musicians come on here, and they have a beautiful catalog of music, much like yourself. And yeah, and what's amazing is when you see where they came from, it makes you realize that, like, these 14, 15, 13, 12, 18, 21 year olds are like, okay, wait a second, like, this is possible. It's
Yeah,
a doable thing. Like, it's not, we don't have to necessarily get stuck in the hustle, right? Like, it's okay to grind. It's okay to grind. Like, it's okay to
yeah,
grind for real. Like, so.
yeah. The thing is, all this shit, everybody is doing the best they can with whatever they doing. Like,
Mhm.
it's insecure people that's insecure with themselves that shit on what somebody else is doing. And those are the people that need to love themselves.
But okay, but it's easy to say that. But like, how does one get there? Like, we're sitting here saying, like, this is where these people are coming from, and this is where I'm coming from. But like, where did you come from? What gave you the idea that it's okay to like be, yourself? It's okay to like go through all of this, because I can't imagine, with the music that you're turning out, that's, you know what I mean. You're not speaking on behalf of a whole a whole economic bundle of people for no reason. Like, would you mind giving everybody in the comment section like a little bit of a backstory on where you came from and what got you to this place?
Well, I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, born in South Phoenix, raised in Maryville, Arizona. Pretty much I got to that point because I went to a black-owned school and they like drove pride into us. It was called Omega Academy. They showed us what we really are at that school. You're not niggas. You're not this. Your history don't start with slavery. When I started going to other schools, I started seeing how our women were treated. When I seen that, like it's not okay to wear our hair. Why the fuck not? Nobody else hair grows like ours. None either. For y'all that know about that. But I started seeing that and seeing our people hate each other's skin. I did not see that in elementary because I went to a black-owned school. But after seeing that, I was like, that's what needs to be fixed. So that's what I need to target. To love yourself. And on top of that, no matter what race you is, you have a fingerprint that nobody else has. Why would you want to be like anybody else? You are made perfect. Everybody's made perfect because it's only one you. So that's where I got it from.
Man, I didn't grow up in a space like that, and I fight for that all the time. Especially like with my boys. I'm like, it's important to me that they have a space on the basketball court. It's important to me that they have a space, in their clothing and in their shoe wear. And it's not to say that like we all need to feed into the $300 this and the $500 that. That's not what I mean. I just mean like it's okay to like be a part of that space because not everybody has it. Like you said, like I'm sure it was probably jarring to witness that people really are living. I mean, it's not even like a black. I mean, it is a black and white thing, but it's also like I grew up in a place where like if you were even talking about like hip hop music or like it didn't even have to be hip hop. It could have been like, if I had like a bandana like hanging out, like a flag. Like, are you kidding me? Right? Like
they thought you was banging.
Totally, absolutely. There's no way around it. Right? Like it only meant one thing, and then
yeah. No, the best thing to do is to purposely speak positive. It changes your frequency completely. If you gonna continue to speak like everybody else, you're gonna feel the same negativity constantly as everybody else, and you're gonna continue to speak it. I'm not saying I'm perfect with it. I'm not, because I cuss somebody out in a second. But I'm trying. That's the part. At least I'm trying. I'm trying to be as spiritual as possible. I don't want any problems anymore, especially with the plans I have to do. Like, I feel like my people need me. There's not, and I'm not just saying that, there's not many people like me. And I'm so serious about it, I'm willing to sacrifice myself for it.
There you go.
Like, it's not, I make music, but the music is to drive the mission also. Like, it's too much. This is the first time, these last 2 decades, this is the first time that hip hop and music didn't reflect the times. How are we getting killed all the time by police or each other or racist people because they hanging us now again? How we doing? All this is happening, and the rap is about killing, prostitution, basically, drugs. And I'm not down it. It's a place for it. But the other shit need to be talked about because that's what you really going through. All your fans is getting killed. Speak to that.
But it doesn't get pushed though, and like, but that's the thing is that like it never really did. right? It never really did. And unfortunately, right now we're in a place where like you have to have a gangster mindset to not be concerned, right? Because in order to pay your bills, you still have to fit into this mold.
Well, gangster mindset, there's nothing gangster about talking about killing your own people or killing your own people. That's not gangster. Gangster is standing up. They're supposed to ride for their community. Your community is black or Mexican or whatever. That's what gangster is. Gangs is designed to protect us from the police. Somewhere along it got corrupt, but that would be gangster. This shit they doing right now, no disrespect, that's not gangster.
And that's what I mean. I mean, you need to be willing to like have that same enthusiasm, but for the light. Like people don't charge forward with that same enthusiasm for the production, for the love, for the, you know what I mean? Like, and you're like, everyone's got energy to be out here killing each other, hating on each other, you know, all this beef, whatever that was. I don't even know, because I don't even know, like a cartoon character and like a real, I don't know what that was, but you know what I mean? Like, but if we would have the same enthusiasm about being productive and about, you know, being a good neighbor, and, you know, if you have carrots and I have potatoes, then we're both cool because, you know, we got cows somewhere in the middle between all this nonsense. Like, I mean, but try and convince people of that, you know, like try and convince people of that, which is where the ones that are willing to sacrifice themselves are going to have a place.
Yeah, but they programmed our people to think less of themselves. And we fell for it. Or it's just mind control, because if the music is saying it and the TV shows are saying it, and then the podcast women and men are going back and forth, and then everybody on Facebook is talking the same shit. Like, we're programmed to hate ourselves and love everybody else. And that's what I want to reverse. Also, do something. Somebody got to be a voice, because it's like nobody sees what's going on with the high class, middle class, and lower class. They do not see what's happening, and it's baffling to me, because this shit is happening to us. I just don't get it.
Unfortunately, they do a great job in massive marketing campaigns, to the point now they're not hiding it, right? Yeah. Like they used to do a really good job of like hiding it amongst some things, like, you know, they did it really good with images, logos, you know, signage in general. Like we kind of knew where we were supposed to, I mean, literally knew where we were supposed to go, but I mean, more so than that, right? Like McDonald's, you know what I mean? Like there really is something to like the color palettes of the signage that people use, right? So they're not wrong in the way that they're doing it, but or however, but there's definitely,
they say it comes with death. Everything that they market comes with death. What happens to gang members?
Yeah.
What happens to drug dealers?
Yeah.
Prostitutes?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. And and everybody's saying they love who they love on whatever artists, but they're not doing anything to uplift your spirit. They ain't spoke to your soul one time. You can't relate to shit they talking about. But I don't know. I listen to that shit too.
Yeah.
I gotta say that, because they gonna think, oh, he holier than that. No, I listen to it, but there's no balance, is what I'm saying.
Right. So how do you find the balance then? Like, how do you campaign for, you know, like, how do you find the tenacity to put, I mean, I'm in this fight with you, right? I had to hide mental health into music to get the point out there. You know what I mean? It's called Pinecase, like pine box. Like the only thing that the government actually is going to cover at the end of the day. A pine box. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And the only way to get the kids to kind of maybe be slightly interested was to be like, all right, well, I'll find, the musicians that you guys love, and we'll get that. Because I'm curious to know what the story is too. And I want to know what the tools are too. I have the certification, and I can give you all the things that you need to, to be mindful, and, how many breathing exercises, and that you can go lay in the grass and use sound bowls and guided meditation. That's not the problem. But how do you get it out to the people who are not interested in looking at somebody in a 3-piece suit who drives a Prius or an Audi A4 or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that looks and feels and smells nothing like that.
That's interesting.
Right?
Yeah, I got to think about that one. I ain't got stumped on no question yet. That one, I got to think. I got to come back to that. That was different.
Right?
But
I mean, a pair of DC shoes and a couple of flannel t-shirts, which I'm comfortable in that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do that for anybody else but myself.
Man, right? Me, I wear whatever I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I really don't care. I'm gonna look good in it because I like me. It doesn't matter if you like what I got on. Yeah. Like, people don't like how my hair is right now. I like this shit.
Why?
I don't know. They call me pineapple or some shit.
Pardon me?
Like, wait, no. I don't give a fuck if nobody like nothing I do. I'm still gonna do me. That's how people need to be, especially with your dress code. Because I remember how it was when I walked into places with bandanas on and my clothes way too baggy. And then when I switched to head wraps and my shirts start looking more, I don't know, dapper, I guess. Mm-hmm. The perception of me changed. Yeah. But I guess that's all how you carry yourself, because I'm pretty much the same person I was then. Like, people are so judgmental with your appearance. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's amazing. I seen a reel the other day where it was like a group of black men, and he's like, you don't want to get shot, like you don't want to get beat up, you don't want to get pulled over, like
what?
Hold a Starbucks in your hand. Like, what? Wait a second. And all these beautiful black men all had a start, like, okay, sure. They all grabbed a Starbucks. Same outfit, same hairdo, same everything. The only thing that was different was now they had a cup of Starbucks. That was it. And let me tell you, even I was like,
wait, this is real?
Yeah, like for real, yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not about to sit here and say any of those people deserved anything that they were saying beforehand. Mm-hmm. But the minute that they were holding this like Starbucks coffee, because I'm so programmed, and because we have this predisposition to what people should look like, I was like, okay, I mean, I see what they mean. I see what they mean. I would definitely feel more comfortable rolling around in the middle of the night with for sure. And not because I'm scared of anybody of the cops, but like we are less likely to have any sort of like involvement with like local RCMP looking like that, for sure.
But it's crazy because the uniform that kills the most people is the cops. Mm-hmm. Why do people feel so comfortable around them? Those are the legal murderers. Yeah. Motherfucker dressed like a rapper ain't the murderer. The murderers don't hang out, unfortunately, people. You want to know the reality, that's why everybody barely sees the murderer. I lived around them. I know. Starbucks ain't saving you. If the murderer wants to drink a cup of coffee, it's gonna fucking smoke you. What's gonna happen? I don't know. People perception is all off. Think about this. The mass shooters look all
middle-aged white dudes.
Yeah, they look acceptable to the public. Right. All of them. Right. Oh, that's how y'all want me to dress, like the mass shooter? I should wear that. Then I'm safe. But if I dress like the black kid that just going to high school, or Tamir, which was 12 years old, and the cop came and shot this poor kid for having a toy gun.
Yeah.
But the mass shooter, the one that shot up the black church, they take him to Burger King. Yeah, people perception fucked up.
But hey, I mean, it has to be talked about. You know, the other night I was at a barbecue and we were sitting there with amongst all these nice regular folk, no big deal. We're just chilling. Mm-hmm. And they were talking about wild stories and like crazy things that they did, and you drive too fast, like all sorts of random shit. I was like, whoa, you know, like, okay. Because I don't even really talk about that kind of stuff around people I don't know, but okay, cool. And I was like sitting there, I'm like, man, I wasn't even driving fast. I was actually on my way to the emergency, and I replaced 3-4 driver's side windows. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for real, like, you know what I mean? You should have got out. Like, and I'm like, I wasn't even doing nothing.
Wait, who did that?
The same people we were just talking about, right? Like, I mean, my hair is natural, right? Like, we're not, right, the same way yours is. Mm-hmm. And so, but it's interesting because I can wear a blazer, you know, you can wear a blazer and have a beautiful job, right? I've been paying into IATSE dues for 15-20 years, so it's not like we're not out here like unionized in the entertainment industry and being but the cops don't know that when I'm going from A to B. Why am I riding on the back road? They don't know that I train colts for RCMP parades, these horses and stuff. They don't know. All they see is this person who's not supposed to be out here around all these very large properties with all these fancy horses and houses and things like that, right?
But why aren't you supposed to be out there? You were born on Earth.
Right. I'm also a homeowner in that area. Not that actually matters.
Yeah. I should be able to go wherever the fuck I want on Earth. Mm-hmm. I was born here like you. Mm-hmm. I don't understand it. That these people, that is the entitlement of these motherfuckers is crazy to me. And that's why we get put through shit like that. Why am I going to continue to rap about harming the people that's poor in my neighborhood? Why? It is, oh my God. Music starting to irritate the fuck out of me. That's one of the main reasons I'm coming back.
Okay.
Because that makes no sense to me.
But how do you change perspective? How do you even cure the fear of people leaving their house, right? Like please come back. Like, oh yeah. Please come back.
Yes.
We have these kids locked up in spaces where, like, and I'm not saying it's no shade to the music industry, no shade, like, no, I mean, everyone's out here doing their thing. They all have a place, and I can appreciate that. But we need more people who are willing to be in the trenches, to be out there and to just talk positivity and power and empowerment, because it is few and far between. Like,
yeah, and then when you talk about uplifting your people, you looked at crazy. Then it becomes, what about everybody else? It's all people. But I was talking to my people this time. Yeah. And it's not to discount anybody else, but when I say Black people, that's who I'm talking to. Mm-hmm. When I say lower and middle class, I'm talking to everybody else. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But if I'm going to talk to my people, it should be no butts in with somebody saying, what about us too? This isn't happening to you. You don't fit into this. Right. And it's not to cut everybody off. It's just the reality. And nobody wants to say reality because everybody's so PC. I'm not fucking PC anymore. Because ain't shit PC about us dying. Once that shit stops, I'll be kumbaya with everybody. But until then, we at war. And I know everybody ain't looking at it like that because we're programmed, but we are literally at war. And that's everybody. But they always target us first and the harshest. We can go back to the wars when they have set us, all the black people in the front, and there's landmines everywhere. So they wait up for us to get killed, and then they start shooting. Shit, like they had that on South Park. They, they put it in cartoons to show you.
Yeah.
Like these, it's so fucked up. Nobody cares about us, including us.
Yeah.
We wait to unite when the worst shit happen. Why can't we do a 1 million man march every year?
Well, because we sacrifice our vocals. We sacrifice our vocalists and the people that are willing to put themselves out there. I mean, historically, that's how it's gone, right? You have these beautiful independent thinkers that are, charging the war, and either they're dismissed as cult-like, or they're too revolutionary to have a space in history. So you need to they need to be eliminated, right?
And I used to be scared of that shit because the one thing I can't get out of my head is I have to speak for my people. I didn't learn all this shit for no reason. I didn't learn nothing to be quiet.
Right.
So since I got to speak for my people, I'm not scared to die for that. If somebody's going to kill me for being a good person, fuck them. I don't care. God got me. We don't fear death no more.
Right. That's really Buddhist, it's a really Buddhist way of thinking too, right? Like no death, no fear. There's if there's big waves and small waves, and we're concerned about the big waves and the small waves, then we forget that we're just water, right? Like,
all right. Yeah, man, ain't no such thing as death.
Right.
You just transferring. Ain't shit. So I'm gonna ride for us 100%.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I love it. I love it so much. I'm so excited. That's so exciting, right? You know what I mean? Like, there's space for you. There's, and if there's not, then make the space. We're all going to make this space,
Oh, yeah. They have no choice now. At first, I was timid. I have no walls up anymore. This is about to get scary. I can't wait for this shit. Album's coming out in November. So that's gonna be exciting. Yeah, I gotta come back on here when it drops.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that. Tell me a little bit about this album, and like obviously we had a little introduction there because none of that goes without, you don't say things like that unless you really are standing behind some of that stuff. But what else is going on that put you into this album? Like,
this album, I wanted to do different things. So I started writing in all different styles, different poem forms. And now I'm excited about it because I did the acronym for my name. Like if my name was in Hebrew, YHPN, it means, I didn't even want to reveal the fucking meaning of it.
Well, you don't have to.
But it means you heal people naturally. So yeah, that's where I'm going with the album. The songs I sent you, that's not that.
Oh, okay.
But it has undertones in it, but of a different type of healing. But but I'm just trying to find a balance. I didn't want to like over conscious people yet because I know they're not there all the way. So I needed, like we said, how do you get that message through to them You got to do it without them knowing. It has to be rap on A beats. This is what they like. I'm gonna rap on that, and I'm gonna do me on it though. I can't be like y'all because I don't even live y'all life. My life, what most people would say is boring. My shit peaceful. I have no drama. I stay away from everybody and do my shit. But this album, I got a song I'm writing, and it's for Black women. Everybody else don't get mad at me. Y'all can still buy it. But that song,
right?
Because it's the uplifted. Basically let them know like you are more than twerking.
Yeah.
Have fun, but you're more than that. Let's be a man that wants to get married. The nigga wants somebody worth having. If you showing yourself to all my homeboys and I don't know. Not saying that you couldn't still be the greatest wife ever, but you got to show that a little bit more because you're only showing one side of yourself. You're gonna over sexualize yourself into being lonely. So, yeah.
Anybody that anybody that is gonna show us how to know our worth and quality is an absolute king in my mind.
Thank you, goddess.
Yeah, and like and I understand that like some people are gonna misinterpret that, and that's fine. Like some people are gonna misinterpret even maybe the song itself, right? Because they might, but anyone that's like you need to know your worth and know your value is an absolute king. Like it's okay to have boundaries and standards and to hold true and to hold fast to that. I know we live in a culture that's like it's fast and quick and everything is wild and you got to be out there every Thursday, Friday night and you got to have your nails done. It's like it's too much and when you don't have all that, you don't feel pretty. You need your eyelashes. Like I don't know.
And that's programming as well because I want you to come as you are. I don't give a fuck about all that shit on your face.
Yeah.
I need to know where your mind is. I also have a song on that. It's a sapiosexual song. So I want more than sex. I need to know. I need that connection. Like show me that I should propose. Like show me something like that. I want to get married, but when the women that come at me, they influences are people that don't hold themselves up like goddesses, it's hard for me. Yeah, but I love them anyway. But I don't want to offend nobody. I'm just saying how I feel. They don't have to agree. It's like I want you to respect yourself because you respecting yourself is respecting me.
Now, and it's to have the intention of showing women their worth. In turn, you show these youth that come up, these young dudes, these young men. That is, you don't have to be out there like fighting the good fight. Like it's okay to sit at home once in a while, or it's okay to sit this one out, or sit her out, or like it's okay to pass up on things despite even feelings, because there's situations that come up. We get people that call the hotline all the time and they're like, I'm dealing with this peer pressure and and even I kind of have feelings and I don't know how to deal with this, and I'm like, you don't actually even have to acknowledge any of it. Like it's okay to have feelings for that person.
Wait, you guys got a hotline?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all doing big shit.
Mm-hmm.
Can Americans call y'all hotline?
Absolutely, they can. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you got to put that up.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just see.
That's dope.
Yeah, I always usually throw it into all the things, but yeah, let me throw it up real quick. Can't actually see it, but it is it's 250-289 3948. So 250-289-3948. It is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And I'm bad. I'm interviewing you and shit. I'm like, so is the numbers like for mental health or any situation?
Yeah, so it's for mental health, it's for music, it's for the youth. I almost threw your song up there. We'll get to that next, but it's for the youth, it's for elders, it's for whoever feels like they need to come in and check it out. It's it's for primarily lately it's been for blue collar workers out there. It's for divorcees that didn't ask for their divorce, but they're still paying child support and don't see their kids but 2 times a month and all that stuff. But yeah, we have, and it's not just that, right? So we have our hotline, and then we have our scholarship and our bursary program too, which is another good way to kind of contribute to both adults and to kids that want to be in the music industry or that want to use like music as a tool for their mental health, right? So
That's dope.
Yeah. I mean, it was a passion project, right? Like it was I buried 3 of my brothers, and
Oh shit.
yeah, all for different reasons. And it was just like, how do we catch this before it gets to that point now? Like, how do we catch these young kids before it gets to that place, right?
Yeah, I went through that as well with a brother and a sister. That was weeks before my baby was born, and then my baby passed. That's all within a month and a half. That shit was crazy. My baby passed in my mom's bed the morning after Mother's Day. It's like 5 a.m. Yeah, that shit, man. It's weird thinking about. I can't believe that shit really happened to me. That shit is weird. How somebody could be here. And then I worked overtime, so I didn't spend no time with my baby. So I just be thinking, like, how somebody gets here and then not here. And then I couldn't even protect my baby. Like, that's the main person you're supposed to protect. And I couldn't protect my baby from death. And I felt weak. I was like, oh my God. I felt like the weakest person because I was giving all my time to a job so my baby could have a roof over his head. And then that shit happened. I spent like little to no time with him. I think I got 3 pictures with him. Yeah. He was 3 weeks old when he passed from SIDS. Yeah.
I don't.
It was cool though.
Well, I don't know. Listen, I don't know how men specifically deal with that. I mean, I do because we talk about it, but I don't know where you guys find the grind to be like, all right, how do you make these sacrifices, right? Because I mean, there's a lot to obviously unpack here, but from the very get-go, you guys have to make this decision to put your work first because there isn't another option. Like, it's not even like oh, you could have been home. Like, no, because then you sacrifice food and shelter, which is a necessity. So
so then that puts you in a fucked up position because then you find out your job gonna let you go anyway.
Right.
Like, they don't give a fuck about you. You're just another number. So I lost my baby for a job that let me go. Like, so you got to balance that out. It all depends on how you look at it. But for me, that's the only way. Like, that shit. I can't wait to get out of this workforce.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Oh, yeah. And I always you come across people that's like, everything, happens for a reason. And I mean, that's people can say that all they want, but it doesn't change the sheer absolute fucking sword that rips your body in half, and then you just got to be like, all right, now you got to somehow like function. Like if you level with that and you can you can somehow chalk that up to like some sort of lesson that you had to turn around and bestow it on everybody else, fine. But from the absolute bottom of my heart, like yeah, we're near you, you have people near you, like
yeah. But shit happens,
right?
and so you just have to accept it or die with it.
Yep.
And I don't want to die yet.
Yeah.
I got shit to do, so I'm gonna do all this shit I'm gonna do for my baby. Damn.
You're telling me that you go, you went through all of that, and you're and then you come out and just be like, I am the voice. I am your, your choice. I am the staple in the community. Like this is what we need to do,
Yeah. But that goes along
Beautiful.
with the power of the name.
Right.
I'm the passion of God. What is God's passion?
Right.
It should be his people. That's all you can do. That's why I encourage everybody to make your name mean something. It turns you into another person. Like that name right there made me better.
It's a mantra though, right? And I mean, I think that's underestimated a lot. Like it's, we sit there and we're like, we talk to our siblings or we talk to our uncles, right? Oh, you're fat. Ha 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 ha. Oh, you're lazy. Ha ha ha. It's like, okay, wait. I mean, maybe, but the minute that we start like giving ourselves these titles and we start talking to each other the way that we want to perceive them or the way that we want them to perceive themselves, the quicker the steps are to get them to the place where they, need to be or where you need to be with them, right?
Well, have you ever seen the water test when they write the positive and some negative on each water glass or whatever jar?
Yeah, I seen the one with the house plants. So
yeah. Yeah, when you see with the water, it shows you why people are how they are. Your body is majority water. If that's what happens when somebody speaks negative to you, people walking around, they insides look like mud. So they can't help but say something negative. It's just like every year we get reprogrammed with something. Like when you first born, you get programmed to do what your parents do. So that continues through life. People at school probably saying negative shit to people. And now when they get older, all they think humor is saying something negative. So it's constantly passing on that all negative shit is cool and funny. But scientists and the higher ups know what that's doing to us. And this is why shit like that and boys don't cry. That's why we killing each other. Like you're not letting your emotions out. Ain't nothing weak about letting your fucking emotions out. Fucking the Bible say God cry, whether you believe the Bible or not. If God can cry, your bitch ass can too. The fuck? People, these niggas make me sick with that shit, man. Like,
I don't even mean to laugh. I just like it. I don't know where the separation happened. Like, what happened? What happened?
That happened in slavery.
Right? Like, at what point was it like, okay, this is totally acceptable for you, but you over here, nah. Like, it's biology. I mean, well, we could go down the rabbit hole of biology, but I mean, it's biology. Like, and yeah, we have different hormones. I understand that part of it. I understand, estrogen versus testosterone, and when your balances get thrown. Okay, fine, but both of us have a little bit of the other one, and there's a reason why that's there. There's a reason why those hormones exist to trigger the flooding of dopamines and serotonin and everything else that needs to happen. Like, you cannot function suppressing the natural reaction of your body, man.
But they don't realize 90% of what all men do is feminine.
Right.
Like, if you showing your gun, you're feminine. You want attention. Women get attention. We try to get women's attention. But if you doing shit like that, some of these niggas got dresses on with guns. Like, the shit is off balance. If you're an artist, you think feminine.
Right.
The creative part of your brain is the feminine side of your brain.
Yeah, I don't know why that is, though. Like, again, why
feminine does not mean, it's not about being a female.
Right.
That's why some people call it the negative and positive sides.
Right.
Like, you can call it whatever you want, but if you're creative, you're using that side of your brain. If you're a cop or a detective or some shit like that, you're using the other side, the logic side.
Yeah.
You're trying to solve shit. That's the side you play chess with.
Yeah. It's literally, it's ration versus emotion, right? Like,
But if you balance it, then you're complete. You're not complete if you're overly masculine or overly feminine. No, you have to. There's a time and place for everything. Learn when to use each side of your brain. Matter of fact, learn to use that motherfucker. Period.
Yeah, and be proud of it. Like, I mean, I don't know why. I don't even know why. Like, it's. I mean, okay. So you say, like, to be artsy, right? Like, to be artsy is to be feminine, but then somehow being artsy is like it. That's what it represents, but it's also socially acceptable if you're artsy to also be feminine. Like, so it's not only is it feminine to be maybe flamboyant or paint or sing, whatever. I mean, sing's kind of an awful, but like, to play, with fabric and be a designer, or to be an intellect, or to, like, whatever. But then when you have a person that is artistic, somehow that gives permission to those people to then use that interpretation on the outward part of it. Like, I'm not saying that everybody needs to be out here in dresses and lashes and whatever. I mean, that's a completely different conversation than what we're having. But I really don't understand where the comfort left. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that, like, and again, this is not a gender reassignment conversation. This is like just people feeling comfortable enough to wear what suits their mood that day without it needing to be, like, categorized as something,
Yeah. But they got everything categorized. You can't even escape it. I hated being called a conscious rapper. Right. I hated it because it's conscious. Conscious means aware. If you're rapping about killing somebody, you're aware that you're rapping about killing somebody. You're aware of it. Why am I a conscious rapper? Because I want to uplift y'all. Why is that the label? That's what hip hop started as. Everything was conscious.
The art of storytelling, right? That's literally how we hid, not even hid. That's how the conversation kept going. When there was lack of paper or lack of resources to get the conversation out there. I mean, it's literally the Underground Railroad, right? I mean, it's like these little pieces that that need to connect in order for the story to all come together. I don't know why we're not talking about it more. I don't know why our top 40s even our top 100 doesn't directly reflect the current climate, both economically, politically, emotionally, spiritually, all of that. I'm not sure. But it's going to take people like you who are not scared to stand up for whatever that reason or march or love is. It's going to take people really putting themselves out there and ultimately sacrificing themselves.
I'm trying to build an army. What? Everything it's going to be more of us. This is going to be a whole thing. I'm just leading the movement that I'm trying to do. But I'm about to make other leaders. Once I make other leaders, they can't stop shit. Shit gets scary when it get to that point, but they can't stop any of it.
But it's not even, it's just a few people having the same conversation, man.
Yeah, but this time it's going to be different. It's going to be different because the things that I want to do is going to actually put in to the community instead of take away. I don't want nothing from it. The plans I have is nobody's going to be like, I need to move out of the hood anymore. Is where I want to get it to go. If we make our areas better, we don't have to go to their neighborhoods. Our neighborhood is a safe zone. Why we got to go up there? They programmed us to think if you go to the white neighborhoods, it's better. It's not. I live there too.
Yeah, right.
Everything happens inside. In our neighborhoods, everything's outside. We're outside people. We like the sun folk. The white neighborhoods, they don't. They got everything they need in their house. There's no need to leave if they don't want to, including their prescription drugs. Yes, I lived in both neighborhoods, so I know what y'all do in the suburbs. So,
oh man.
Yo, man. This should be so unfair. That's why I'm no holds barred now. I'm saying whatever the fuck.
It's so refreshing. It's so refreshing because often I can only have these conversations with my family. I had this conversation with my grandpa probably my whole life, right? Mm-hmm. But I've been having this conversation more and more, and it's always a bit of synchronicity, right? Because a lot of the intellects or the conscious people kind of seem to be on the same, frequency, whatever you want to call it. They're in the same kind of space at the same time. Yeah. But it's so refreshing to hear a lot of people being like, man, not only do we know what happens and what's been going on, that's cool, do your thing, but we're gonna start putting like our stuff on the pedestal that it deserves,
Yeah, because all it is consistency. I ain't been consistent. I know what the issue was with me. Sometimes I couldn't find the greatest engineer. So I took a lot of my music down because that shit didn't sound the way I needed it to. But this time around, I think we're going. I feel confident about this time. And my message is about to be more potent because it's not hidden. Just think about this. You know all the music that's coming out.
Yep.
I come out with an album that reflects everything that's going on, been going on, and then what's going to happen. There's no comparison. I don't care if 2 people hear my album. There's no comparison between me and everybody else. There's none. You talk about nothing. Your whole identity is to be evil. They made evil cool. Like, am I wrong for saying this shit?
No, man.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Like, nah. I mean, I'm being quiet and respectful because it's so nice to hear. Like, nah, there's nothing. And the whole thing that is so funny about it is like, since the beginning, all you've done is talked about positive things. You don't have to smile in order to be productive and a positive person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come and collect and correct. A lot of the times is being so comfortable with yourself that you don't need to be overly expressive to make everybody else feel better. It's not that.
Yeah.
It ain't that, man. Like, we're just, you know what I mean? That's what I meant. Like, I'm near you. Like, I feel you, and I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm sorry. I'm sure you've heard that a fucking million times. That ain't it. I get it. I don't know how you found the fucking, the earnest to get up and sort your shit out another day and another day and another day. So respect.
God.
But I'm near you, man. Like, I don't know why people need this, like, everything's like, I mean, cool, if that's you too, that's cool. But like, from the very beginning that we went live today, you have done nothing but talk about positive, productive, constructive things that I am going to play on repeat for my children, my grandchildren, my nieces and nephews. Like, there is nothing negative or hurtful about any of this stuff. It's real and constructive, and we need more of it. You don't need to smile and do all of that for me to understand that.
Yeah.
It's cool,
It's funny. Somebody just told me I need to smile more. That's why I laughed when you said it. They say I'll be looking too serious all the time. I was like, what? I'm goofy as hell. Like, I don't. But I understand. I'm not a smile more.
Right. Yeah. That was too funny. No, I mean, it looks good on you too. I mean, whatever you're comfortable with. But I understand where you're coming from.
Thank you.
Yeah. Very cool. On that note, I would be absolutely honored if you wanted to come and kick it back after that album is out. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. I wanna make sure I got some videos done too. So I can bring I need to show where my mind is. I know some of my shit people won't get unless they see a visual.
Right.
So that's something next.
You know who is not the same genre, but is a really great example of kind of conscious conceptual artistry is Tool.
Tool.
Yeah. So they're like, I don't even know what they can be considered. I guess like rock or no, metal, I guess. But anyways, when you're done this, you should go check out how they did visuals, because they use like a bunch of different types of media in a way to catch like a feeling more so than like an idea.
Damn, I need to hear that shit. You gotta send them.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Are they they're signed or?
Oh yeah. Calico's in the comment section saying that they're metal music. Yeah, I've actually seen them live. So they.
I was about to say, is that the person in the comment that do the music, or they just like the band?
No, she just likes the band. She said, yeah, Tool is unreal visually. They're on top of very intricate music. Yeah, so I've seen them live. The dude's name is Maynard, and no one really knows a whole lot. I mean, we all know a little bit about him, but when he goes on stage, he stays off to, when I seen him, he was off to the left-hand side, which is, I think, unusual for how he usually is. He's off to the right-hand side. I think. I might have it wrong. But anyways, he stands behind like a curtain because he doesn't think it's appropriate necessarily for music to have a front person. He thinks that like his voice is just another instrument in the music. And the only way to do that was much like how you feel about it. Like sometimes you need to take things one extra step in order for it just to kind of land where you need it to land. Yeah. And so, you can do that progressively or, kind of like by being a bit reserved. Right. And so that's what he's done. So instead of kind of taking it over the top, he's taken it back to get the same result. And yeah, it's impactful, I think.
Yeah, like I've been looking to do like music with different genres. Yeah. So that's why I was asking. I was like, yo, are they in here? Because I need.
No, they're like, I mean, I don't even, I would love for that. And, maybe down the road, I mean, absolutely, it would be an honor. But yeah, they're there are some next level shit.
Yeah, shit. I'm trying to meet him next.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna shut that out of my conscious because I'm totally here for it, and I'll add it to my like thoughts and stuff. But yeah.
Shit, we about to try. I'm about to try to get him.
Yeah. Yeah, if anybody knows if they just want to go ahead and tag a tool down in the comment section, that would be great.
Tag any rock band.
Yeah.
I just want to I want to fuck with them. I want to rap on some rock shit.
Oh wait, no, we can do that. We can. Okay, hold on. No. We I was like core team for Decimate Metal Fest last year. So yeah. We got we can probably like make that connection.
Oh yeah. We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, that might be a little out of my pay grade in my current position, but yeah, we can definitely. There's some wicked metal and rock bands that are like not very far away. They've done come on the show or been at the Decimate Metal Fest that we partnered to put on last June and all that stuff. So yeah, sure. Like shout out to Decimate Metal Fest if you guys are in the comment section. But, yeah. Life is good, man. Life is good when you're open to new stuff. Like, what makes you want to do that? I mean, we're kind of getting short on time, but what makes you want to? Now I'm curious. Like, why that? Like, for contrast, or?
No, I always wanted to because I like my favorite band is Nirvana.
Oh, okay.
So that and I like the Gorillas and Fun. So I always wanted to rap on that shit at least one time. It just seems I like weird shit like that. They act like that's not supposed to happen, but it happened in the 80s. Run DMC did the Aerosmith song.
That's kind of where it started, right? And then Jay-Z did the Linkin Park thing, and that they did a whole album. People only know about that one cut, but they actually did. I think it's 11 tracks. Like they did a whole album together.
Yeah, I used to listen to it.
Yeah,
because Numb was my shit.
Yeah, that's that album and oh man, Andre 3000 and Big Boy. I mean, there's nothing that Outcast can't touch.
Oh my god, that's the greatest. Like my influence is Tupac and Outkast, my main influences. But which Outkast album are you talking about?
Hey, listen, hear me out. There's something about Humble Mumble, and I know that that's not everybody's favorite track.
No, that shit cold. What, Erykah Badu?
Man.
Yes, I understand. That music is colorful.
It's so, it's so thought provoking and interesting. They talk about it right in there, but like when I used to listen to that on repeat in art class, and like whatever it was that we had to do that day, I would just take pieces of that song and make my art and be done with it. But I studied that song over and over and over again, because there's no way that you come out the fucking studio with that song and think that is a good idea.
Right.
Like, unless you're like tapped into some shit that I need to also be understanding. Yeah,
Outkast is amazing. They spiritual on another level. I used to talk to one of the members of Goody Mob. They part of the Outkast crew a lot, and he used to tell me shit about their recording process. Like they would all be in a dungeon with nothing, like red clay and dirt and pallets, and record all their shit. Like they did a lot of shit differently than everybody else because of that. And then Andre got on his spiritual stuff like me. He was one of the main reasons I started wearing head wraps, because their second album. Yeah, that's when I got.
I was over here doing the same thing when Erykah came. I mean, that marriage right there, I was like, it's two aliens. Like there's because they are, right? Like I got mad respect for that.
Hell yeah.
Because you got, to put yourself in that position, shamelessly ready to be intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I don't know. I don't know how weird people need to know, but like when there's moments where you're like, I'm just gonna eat like, you know, like 2 sockeye salmon and
Sockeye
like,
salmon.
you know what I mean, and like, and like 3 oranges because I need to like get this. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
like same with like the red clay and whatever, right? Like I mean,
yeah.
sometimes you just need to like go through something for a bit,
That's when you know you're supposed to be a messenger.
right?
Like when you go through shit, like people be talking about shit they ain't never went through and giving advice about something they never went through. It's confusing as fuck. Cause how the fuck do you know? People, oh my god, I keep saying oh my god because I keep wanting to say specific names, and
Right.
I made a post today said I changed. I don't want any issues. So try to stick to it. I told you I ain't perfect. I try to be perfect.
Right. Right. Now that's fair. It's hard though, right? Like, I mean, you get so many years, on this earth, and I
Mhm.
don't, and sometimes ignorance is bliss, right? Like, there is something to that too. And I'm not saying that I'm not grateful for like being where I'm at, but there is definitely something to be said. Like, some of these people out here ain't worried about nothing, right? And maybe there's happiness in that. I don't know.
Mm,
Maybe.
shit, I be trying not to worry about nothing. I ain't cracked that one yet. We
Yeah,
gonna get there.
it's tough.
But
It's tough.
when you care less, you're more peaceful though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you worrying about if you with somebody, you worry about who the other person's sleeping with. Because you with somebody you don't trust, or like people be worried about everything. $2 short for your light bill, shit like that.
Yeah.
You can borrow that. There ain't nothing to trip over.
Right.
Yeah, like, and then that's something that somebody I know they're mad at me and don't talk to me because of that.
It's the quickest way to lose a friend. Like, it's the quickest way to lose a friend.
Yeah,
Period. Like,
people are weird as fuck.
people are weird. I
You
never
gotta
really.
you gotta keep your peace, man. I've been staying away from people. I ain't never been this happy since the baby, at least.
Yeah.
But staying away from people brought me a lot of peace and make you find the new version of yourself. Like after the baby, and then I get anxiety and all that shit. I had to find what the new me is. I'm almost there now.
Yeah.
But that anxiety and shit will fuck your life up.
We can keep all of that for another conversation, but
Mhm.
when we chatted before a little bit, and you're like, I wanted to add sound bowls. Maybe I'm not supposed to say that out on here,
Oh,
but
you can
but
say
when
that.
yeah, but when
They ain't stopping me. I'm
right,
still going.
right. But when you were talking about that earlier, I was like, that's the type of healing that that neighbors do for each other, or because that's the way siblings kind of handle. But that's the type of like healing that we need to do for each other as neighbors and as a
Yeah.
community.
Like, did you listen to the Andre Flute album?
Yeah.
Like that, it feels good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like people say what they want, but they did something with healing in sounds.
Yeah. Well, there's there I don't want to get this wrong. I feel like it's 432 or
Mhm.
5. What I can't remember. I should know this off by heart. Usually, it's
520 or 432.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably on my YouTube right now if I just look it on the corner, because I try and play it like a lot. But when people are like aware that those things really do help, and then they just kind of casually or not casually add it into their production,
Mhm.
that's a beautiful thing, right? Because you really are like healing people without them even knowing that it's happening. And sometimes that we need to be like that for each other. So, yeah. And maybe that's why people weren't really feeling it, right? Because sometimes it can cause discomfort. Like, you know, for example, I had that played up on my TV or through my sound system for a little while, and not everyone was interested in listening to it. It wasn't even like loud. It was probably like, you know, but because they had to kind of go through some releasing and stuff, they're like, I'm not used to doing all that. Even in sleep, they're like, man, my lymphatic system opened up. I don't know what's going on, right? So maybe not everyone with it because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, healing is uncomfortable for people. People love being miserable. People will never hit you up and tell you they happy. It's wild.
I don't even mean. Yeah, for why is that though? What is wrong with it?
It's not what they do. They gonna hit you up and tell you everything that's the worst shit that happened to them. Nobody's gonna call and tell you they happy today.
All day long, it's something like, man,
because people got comfortable with not finding solutions. You get more attention when you complaining.
Yeah.
You can say what the fuck happened and be mad, but what's the solution to it? Like if you just gonna stay in the misery, you lost. Like the misery is behind you; it already happened. This way, you going this way now. That shit over there. It's time to move on to something else. I can't do it. I can't stay in my misery.
Right. I don't even mean to be disrespectful, but like, why? Oh, no.
Say it.
It's not that I don't want to see it. It's just like, I don't understand. And it's been challenging a little bit. Like, you know, why I don't understand why people can, you know, study all of these beautiful alternative therapies and things like that. And then continually stick to what has never worked. And it's like, man, you guys come out here all the time and you know, there's all these amazing alternatives and things you can do that aren't even necessarily therapy, you know, from a textbook, but like take your shoes and socks off and just walk around and ground yourself. I mean, you don't need a $350 course to figure that shit out. Like, come on.
Put your palms to the sun.
Right. But continually will leave their socks on. You know what I mean? Or continually will keep their hands in their pockets. It's like,
because they design, and we think that these clothes make sense. That's the people don't realize their clothes is killing them.
Yeah.
I think a dead body frequency is 15 hertz. Most of the clothes we wear vibrate at 10. Linen vibrates at 5,000.
That's that Egyptian cotton thing.
Yeah, you gotta find out the frequencies of your fabric. That matters.
Yeah.
But people don't think that matters. They're killing us with everything. If you got to put your palms in your pockets all the time, like I've seen people do that all day, you're not charging up. Your body's not detoxing something. Like everybody hides from the sun. Like you need at least 10 minutes. Most jobs are inside. All the schools are inside. So everybody's vitamin D deficient, which causes depression and mental health issues. So this should link right back to the subject.
No, exactly. And we all wonder why everyone leaves the hospital and gets vitamin D drops, and the doctors in there being like, you need to take 6 drops, you know, like 3 times the recommended dose and shit. Like, well, or we could just go outside and pick some raspberries or whatever before we make jam. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you could definitely do that, and that's probably gonna work better for you.
Right? Like,
as soon as you get that medicine, one of your organs about to suffer.
Right. Yeah.
But again, that's pushed in the music. They thought I was weird because I rapped about sea moss before. Like, hey, what? Is something wrong with healing? But you could pop a Molly and drink lean, and everybody cheer for it. I tell you to heal yourself. And I'm weird.
How dare you?
It's crazy. The concept of being weird is because I care about us. When you don't care about us and all women is bitches and all black men is niggas, you get the most cheers. But they don't see that as a government target. That is directly targeting us. Technically, that's mental health.
Well, it is mental health, and it's not only like is it directly affecting us as men and women, but it builds the luxury market of the economy. So it's like, and I mean, you can get into it and use whatever examples you want. Obviously, big pharma is a really easy one to talk about because it's the most obvious one. But yeah, I mean, you get these women who think that they smell and they're funky and they're this and they're that and they're they're fat because their clothes don't fit right, even though they haven't been sewn properly anyway. And like you said, like they don't got the right frequency or whatever. And then so what do? We like strip down to the basics. We jump in a bathtub full of fucking weird chemicals and perfumes and all this other stuff. And then we wonder why we have MS and HS and all this lymphatic backed up. And then, you know what I mean? And then we got a boil because our no shit. And then that wigs out. And then people really are like, man, what's going on with you? Right. And then you go get like, what is it? What is that? Not antihistamine, but, oh my gosh, what is turmeric? Turmeric is
anti-inflammatory.
Yeah. But instead of getting the turmeric, right, you go and get the prescription, and then they get they give you Toradol and Tramadol and all the other big ones, and then they don't tell you that there's also an opiate in it, whether it's an opiate angst or an opiate. I mean, that's not really the conversation that they lead with.
The fact that nobody asks what's exactly in those pills is crazy to me. Yeah. Like, just take anything.
And you know what? Most of the time, it's not even the opiate. The opiate crisis is one thing, but it's the buffer stuff that's in a lot of these things that nobody's talking about that actually cause a lot of like the issues that they're having that make, you know what I mean, that make them even want to like continue on. Because of course you build a tolerance, and of course they make you feel good, but nobody's talking about like the filler in the pill that's actually stopping your lymphatic system from actually cleaning itself, right? So your white blood cells build up and block up, and then all of a sudden you're like, your body's trying to figure out where to put this waste, and it doesn't know where to do that. So then all your different systems are freaking out because you have, these watersheds that are trying to like release all these toxins, whether it's in your kidneys or, sweating or whatever. And then we want to be comfortable, and we want the pain, we want to be comfortable in our skin. So, we need the pressure gone and the pain to go away. And I mean, honestly, like opiates, like, they're great for pain, but they're great for pain because they actually like keep your mind busy, right? And so they have a place, don't get me wrong. The history of opiates is important, right? I mean, there's people out there in real wars really needing this kind of stuff. And there's people really out there with fentanyl patches that really do need them. Or maybe not. Whatever. Maybe they just want to ride off the last couple of days into the sunset. That's not my business. But when we're out here because, one thing made us feel so uncomfortable, we needed to like bathe in a tub full of Olay for 6 hours, and then we're wondering why. Like, I don't know. The conversation started 3 years ago with your deodorant. Like,
that deodorant, you gotta have non-aluminum, like stuff like that, because boy, they giving everybody cysts and cancers. You can't have shit now. But how's the community out there? Like, the same shit happen out here that happens out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's not as like prevalent, maybe, right? Like we don't have. I shouldn't say we don't have like a large Black community, but I grew up super poor. My mom made crazy choices. My brother was, he had probably more blue flags than the rest of Canada in his coffin when he when he was laid to rest. I mean, it's out here, yeah, for sure, it's out here. It's just I don't think that we have the entertainment industry enough to kind of put it at the forefront where people really understand what's happening.
Damn, why the fuck is that?
I don't know. It money. I don't know. It's just the way like you guys kind of have the entertainment industry locked in when it comes to like films and stuff. We still have some big ones, right? Like I mean, Lionsgate and things like that for sure. I mean, it's the same. Like our, we have a Skid Row and something kind of that would equate to like,
damn,
we have like the biggest Skid Row in the world though, right? Like it's wild out here, but nobody really talks about it. Not the same way that maybe they would talk about some of the harsher streets in like Seattle and stuff. Like I don't, or like the culture surrounding like Compton or something like that. Like I don't know if we advertise it or like it's kind of in mainstream culture, but it's around.
So with stuff like that, this is what I'm saying. Y'all have two of the biggest artists that ever came out, not just out of Canada, ever came out.
You're talking about Drake and Bieber?
Oh, three. I was talking about Tory Lanez too.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
Why do y'all have the biggest Skid Row? There's no programs to help people get off it, or are these people homeless because they want to be?
Well, there's a few different things that happened. So what originally there was, they closed the doors and kicked everybody out of a mental institution. And
what?
Yeah, like a large mental institution. So the government funding got cut, and what they were trying to do was promote independence and try to stop people from like maybe abusing the system, right? Like not everyone needed to be in there or whatever. So anyways, the government had like a massive campaign. It went kind of across Canada. We closed down a ton of mental institutions, and we opened the door to the street and open them up kind of right near a lot of places like Carnegie Hall that are like, they were safe injection sites before these kind of massive like end stigma and Narcan saves lives campaigns. Like these, you're talking like 30 years ago, right? 30, 40 years ago. So they would have these needle exchanges and, low income pharmacies and things like that. Because we have healthcare up here, but not really. Like if you make money, you still have to pay for your prescriptions, right? And so if you're on any sort of income assistance, then you get your stuff for free. So I mean, the same way that like the hood has kind of traditionally cultivated the fringe and a little bit of the underbelly. That's kind of what happened, right? They were like, we're going to put low-income pharmacies and housing and access to all of the things that are going to lend to addiction in the same space. And that's exactly where they opened up all these, they opened the doors to all of these mental institutions. So now you have mentally unstable people with access to abusing their prescriptions, essentially. I mean, that's kind of a short version of it, but that's essentially what happens. So you have a bunch of people who self-medicate, who don't have the resources or the housing that they need. And then you get things like, Willie Picton. I don't know if you know who that is, but he was like this pig farmer guy. He was like, there was some controversy whether the cops were involved or not involved, or, if the bikers were involved or not involved. But ultimately he went down to, our big Skid Row, which is East Hastings, and would, thrive on these women who really no one searched for but their families, right? And so, it's the same down there. You get and I hate talking about RCMP on here, but you get maybe a culture around RCMP not necessarily helping the poor. And then you have this kind of spring up situation where they have access to like self-medicating. And I mean, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same thing. I guess. Never really thought about it really, but yeah, it's bad.
Man, that's sick.
Yeah.
I don't understand that shit. Right. We give billions of dollars to NASA to pretend to fly rocket ships.
Right.
And tell us shit that we don't need to know. I don't give a fuck what's going on in space. I'm getting killed down here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We homeless down here. Mm-hmm. Like, everything is going on down here, but they got us looking up.
Yeah, absolutely. But they've been doing that always, right? And I talk about this a lot. Like it's wag the dog, right? Like,
but we become the stupid ones when we keep falling for it.
Yeah.
Why does our space program need that much? But your citizens are homeless. That money could be getting put into housing. It could be temporary housing to get these people, help them get jobs and self-sustainable. But no, we want to give shit to fucking NASA, to the NFL, to the NBA. I love NBA players and football players. They should not be getting paid more than teachers. Nobody should, because they have to teach the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're literally teaching them what society is going to be when they're the age we are.
Well, and I mean, who wants to be a freaking teacher anyways? Like, it's going to be a dying breed. I mean, half of my kids are in electives because most of them work.
Yeah, everybody about to shut schools down soon.
But it's crazy because right now we just dropped like more money in any province in Canada, in the history of Canada, on education. And I'm like, it's so confusing because you guys aren't doing anything to convince anybody to even want to be educated anymore. We're literally giving all the money to the people who have these passion projects or who are, athletic. I mean, I agree with you. It doesn't really make sense. The 1% or the 2-3% of people that actually make it in these industries is, I don't know, man. Is that going to give my kid the drive to like maybe want to? Definitely don't want to be a teacher because the teacher drives a worse car than his broke ass mama. Like,
right?
You know what
I mean? But if a teacher get a contract for $1 million, you think people ain't gonna want to grow up to be teachers?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like if they're giving contracts, why does a player? I'm not saying because that's their money. They earned what they earned.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying logically.
Mm-hmm.
Why does he need $200 something million
right
when there's poor people? I'm not saying you're supposed to spend your money on people you don't know and all that, but you see a problem and your kids got to grow up in this society. You see a problem that's happening, you got the means to fix it and you don't. To me, that's showing that somebody's keeping them from doing it. Because nobody that comes from a place says, fuck that place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably something in their contracts.
You think? I wonder.
I seen a football player say his contract said he can't have a dark-skinned woman with kinky hair.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Whoa.
Shoot, some of the rappers' contracts say they own your likeness throughout the universe. These are in contracts.
Yeah, and some of these contracts are like, 100-year, 1,000-year contracts. Like it's wild.
And
like,
that's the thing. Everything is set up against us, from the clothing to the school system, to the police system, to the workforce. Everything's set up against us. Like, how is it possible that you have to hire a legal amount of Black people at a job?
Oh yeah, I've been there. I actually, there's a large restaurant franchise that when I got hired on, they're like, well, we made our quota. And I was like, you're joking. And you know what? The owner came down and we talked about it and he was like, I hate to do that to you, but yeah, I mean, I'm glad we hired you now. But at the time it was in order to get their funding from the government, they needed to have, I can't even remember it was like, they need like 3 minorities in the kitchen and 2 in front of house or something to that effect.
That's crazy.
But it had more to do with the funding part than anything, right? Like it was, and that's a lot of the thing. Like right now, the way it stands, like Pinecase, I mean, we run basically off of like donations, but there is a ton of other projects that are out there that are like kind of like grassroots. passion projects, outreach projects, event coordinating and blah, 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 whatever. We do a ton of harm reduction and stuff like that. And that's kind of where they're getting the most traction right now, is these companies that are coming through, these like nonprofits that are coming through. That seems to be like where the most of the help is coming from.
Yeah, there got to be a way to fix this shit.
Lobby the local government. Like, I don't know if we're ever going to get a whole lot on like a federal standpoint, but if everybody went in, put in the application, took their 3 minutes, every other Thursday night, and talked at their town meetings, like, there's only so many times that you can do that consistently before somebody how many communities have 300-400 people? Like, it takes one person, man. One person. You know what I mean? You go sign up with your Chamber of Commerce. You get involved with them. I met the president of the Chamber of Commerce in my community, and she said to me, "You only need to know your job. You know what? Because we have 16,000 people in this county, and in business." And they all know the other 99% of the job that needs to happen. So you do your job, and it's my job to find you an accountant, somebody in marketing, somebody in advertising. Like, you rely on us. That's how we do this. That's how we network. That's how we, but people like me, they hear things like Chamber of Commerce and they're like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is. I don't know. How do I get in? Who do I talk to? And these people are like, man, we go paddle boarding every, on the weekend and drink, whatever, right? They're just regular people. But the way that it's set up is to be intimidating. So I don't know. I've been saying this for a while and campaigning this for a while. You just got to show up, put in your application, get your couple of minutes, and say what it is you need to say, because eventually it will turn into something. People are only going to listen to it so many times before they're like, all right, how much is it that she's looking for?
You gave me an idea.
Right?
That's gonna be wild.
Yeah.
I'm about to have every gang member in Phoenix walk into the meeting.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's like when you have people that, once you've shown them that they're welcome in those buildings, like
that's why I want to do it.
Yeah.
I want to show them, like, you have the right to be here too.
Yes. Like, it's time to take the stigma out of these things on both ends of it. Like, you know what I mean? The more that we put up these walls, the bigger the walls become, and we can only blame, the people in the suits for so long before we have to take responsibility for it. Like, you are welcome in those places. They are actually quite interested in having you in there. And I'm not saying that there's never going to be a situation where people aren't getting, need on and whatever. For sure.
Oh, yeah. No. We pay taxes. We need to be in those meetings.
But we need to be in those meetings. We need to understand why, we need to understand why the money's going to certain streets. I mean, my community was in an uproar about, this garden that was built and this and that, and that's our tax money. And blah, blah. And I was like, man, do they not know that all that money came from like donations from like things like a car show that were put on by like local businesses?
That's dope though.
Right? But none of that was tax money, but nobody knew that. So it's just, get everybody out there, get to the town meetings.
Yeah, we about to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
I wish I would have thought about this at the beginning of the year. We'd be ready for November.
Right. But I mean, there's no better time to start than now, and use it as a jump off for, this time next year or next, I mean, I wouldn't waste time. You got an album dropping and there's never a more important time, but if that ain't it, then maybe it's January for other reasons or February for other reasons. There's always like mental health. There's always, mental health initiatives and months and things like that come up, like, that nobody ever talks about. Pride and men's mental health are in the same month nationally. And I don't know if that's what's going on down there, but I mean, there's always a campaign for that type of stuff. Like,
Yeah. No, we about to figure something out. And now that we've had this conversation, I'm gonna be hitting you up for ideas for what needs to happen, because you understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to find people that understand.
Right. Yeah, no. I'm here. Like I said, I'm near. Like, On that note, I'm going to let the people listen to your music and everyone can comment in the comment section. I want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I really do appreciate it a lot.
Oh, no problem. Which song you playing?
I don't even know because they put the same image on both of them. So.
Oh, shit. Well, one of them is featuring my homeboy is Butters. His verse comes on before mine, but yeah, that one, Get Up Out Me Way. And then I know you ain't playing that one. So
I wanted to, so listen.
I know. No, we ain't got to do that. We be doing good.
Yeah, I know.
We got to play that one.
Oh, I know. Let me
But the other one, Your Decision, that's about. So I had this friend, and we're not friends anymore, but he decided to disrespect my son after my son's death. So that's what that one's about. It's a death song. So that could go with mental health.
Whoa.
I needed to release that.
Whoa. Okay. Well, I'm not going to be disrespectful, so I'm going to go and just make sure that that's if that's what it is, because
You put a picture on it?
Well, no, I wouldn't be like that. I'm not. No. So, like, let me explain. So today, when for everybody that's hanging out with us tonight, we built a new studio, and so I was trying to play around. So I was like getting this queued up for like a new background, just so that it like looked a little bit different or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And then, so what I did was I took that image and just threw it over top of your song, so that way when we because I don't normally review music and I don't do it. I mean, I might start doing it, but I try and stay away from it. But what my plan was to have that image over top of your song, so that way when it cut out, it wasn't going to be this like kind of black to.
Oh yeah.
Right. I was like, oh, I'll just like line it all up so the images make sense, and we'll just like slide on through and pop out and let the music play or whatever. So
yeah.
So if you bear with me for like 2 more seconds, I'm gonna slide it over to everybody and what that's about. Because that's, but we come across that type of stuff, right, in our life. Like, it's amazing when you especially when it's like somebody you've known forever, and I don't know how the disrespect happened, but yeah, there's no room for that.
Some people ain't happy with themselves. That's it. Alcoholics and shit like that.
Yeah.
But
true story.
It's better for me to rap about it
mm-hmm.
instead of go to jail, because I don't belong there. So
no, 3 hots in a cot, like,
Yeah, that's what music is for.
Yeah.
I'd rather release verbally.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to hurt nobody.
No, there's no. All right, I'm sorry. I'm just like making it happen. No, you don't have to hurt nobody.
Oh yeah, never. When you coming to the States?
Right.
Nobody from another country want to come here.
It's not that. It's not. I mean, I don't even know if it's an option anymore, really.
What?
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, I wasn't kidding when I said the RCMP smashed up my window like 4 times, right?
Oh shit!
Jeez. Yeah. that was a real story. Like.
Oh no! I didn't know that was recent.
It wasn't, but when you do it up here, you do it. It is forever. So I don't know.
What the fuck?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I did my thing and like we got through it. That was, it was a while back and whatever. And the way that I lined it up was so that it would never be an issue. That was literally why I did it the way I did it. And but I don't know, the conversation I had the other day when I was like talking about getting my passport and stuff, they were like, well, you can, you can travel like here, there, and everywhere, but okay, I'll come down and talk to you guys, I guess. But it looks like I got it sorted out. I really hope that's it.
I'll wave my hands if it ain't.
Okay. Are we gonna do? Yeah, like we just do this together. That'd be great. What's funny is like I'm taking the time to like make sure it's the right song, but I bet you like if I just clicked on this one, just because of the way the world works, it's probably the right one. But... Come on. Yeah. What day are you dropping your album in November?
I'm looking to drop it on the 1st. Not set in stone yet, but that's the day I'm looking for. Lord willing.
Yeah, and actually, shout out to everybody in Campbell River right now. They DJ Robbie Rob, we jumped on board. Yeah, DJ Robbie Rob. So Pinecase jumped on board. DJ Robbie Rob presents. He's got Party with a Purpose happening. The roster is thick, and our lovely bursary winner, DJ Lion, 10-year-old, 11-year-old DJ who's out there doing big things. He's actually going to be opening the night for everybody, which is super cool. So we're really excited to hear that. I didn't talk about it last time I was on. I kind of forgot, but that's October 12th in Campbell River at the Eagles Hall. You can get your tickets. They're on sale right now for $20 or they're $25 at the door. I'll throw the link down in the comments once we're done here tonight. But yeah, there's some really cool projects going on the West Coast right now. I'm going to throw this song up. So you guys, everybody that's out there, thank you for tuning in and joining us. Stay safe, stay blessed. YahPassion, thank you so much for joining in, tuning in, hanging out. We'll definitely make this happen after the album drops November 1st. And see you next Tuesday.
Beat you up.
Yeah. Better have more shit right. Charcoal inside. Speaking on my name, better have your shit right. Yeah, I barbecue your whole ride. Charcoal inside. Yeah, you insecure as fuck. My confidence like this side. Yeah, you up against the very thing that you lack inside. Oh, they see us. Really, it's hard to see your passion in person because your energy's off to me. Who's offering offerings before I start off? Is this your OG status? Don't matter to me. I'm all seeing the one that you're all seeking. Your passion to God, peace under my guard. Speaking, projectile heart seeking. They're looking for love. As long as your heart beating, just give them a hug. Releasing your soul's easy. Don't speak on my son. You can act dumb as you want. That's your decision. Go ahead and say what you want. That's your decision. Lying on my name to these fans. I'm on the mission. Knowing I'll appear in your home like an apparition. You can act dumb as you want. That is your decision. Go ahead and say what you want. That is your decision. Lying on my name to these fans. I'm on the mission. Knowing I'll appear in your home like an apparition. Speaking on my name, better have your shit right. I'll barbecue your whole ride. Charcoal inside. You insecure as fuck. My confidence like this side. You up against the very thing that you lack inside. Ever since your inception, it been a misconception that you can fuck with the guy you're passion in any setting. You took your alcoholic ass in, taught many lessons that you ain't for my only child to die. The disrespecting, so these bullets that I'm throwing, go ahead and intercept them. Yeah, moved in my family hood, now that shit ain't all good. Yeah, raise your pistols, boy, I wish you would. Yeah, pieces of you found in every hood. You can act dumb as you want. That is your decision. Go ahead and say what you want. That is your decision. Lying on my name to these folks. Now I'm on the mission. Knowing I'll appear in your home came to these falls. Now I'm on the mission, knowing all up here in y'all like an apparition.